a lovely Monday morning and we are heading on into work after an already very productive morning. It's 8:30. I've already got ready, got dressed obviously. I've ironed my week's worth of shirts. I've made my sandwiches, left, driven, walking to work. Going to be early as well. Absolutely bossing it. That's how I intend to continue this week. We are going to be flying through, being productive. We have half a year left, ladies and gentlemen, to the end of the year. I'm going to be making the most of it. So we're in my new shirts, just a plain white one. It feels a lot baggier than my other shirts, but it feels a lot more comfortable, so win-win. And we're going the busy way where people can watch me vlog, because I know two people who are walking down the quiet way. By know, I mean like they've been in a couple of meetings I've been in before. They're from like quote-unquote the business. So yeah. I think we've like presented our most recent changes to them before. They're in like that group of people, the users. I'm avoiding them. Lol. A really good kick-ass day, and then the last hour was spent like smashing my face against an error. I use this thing called Automapper to like automatically map all of our objects to different objects and stuff, and it's really nice because it does a lot of things automatically. But when it throws errors, basically the only way you can see those errors is by turning on capture all errors. It just kind of swallows it and just kind of throws a generic error and you can't see the details of, so you kind of got to catch errors at like a system level, which means you've got to sit there and smash F5 until you get there. Then you have the problem where your service bus is full of messages that are invalid. Software, we need to like look at the message queues and delete things from the message queues and all that kind of good stuff without just deleting the message queue entirely from Azure. We asked for it about 2 months ago and it hasn't been authorised yet. Otherwise, I had a really productive day today. I was the only person on the team. Everyone's been either ill, working at home, or on holiday, so I've been storming ahead. No distractions. One thing I'm trying to get a grip on is how to spend my lunches. Because I'm lugging my laptop here and I'm not necessarily doing anything. I'm starting to spend my lunches just kind of working. And I don't know whether I should just stop bringing my laptop in. And then I can start taking my work laptop home, and then if I'm ill or whatever, I can work from home. Which is what someone did today, because they were ill but not too ill to work, but ill, contagious ill. So he was working from home. The problem is that it's difficult for me to carry both laptops in this bag, which is the bag I like to take, because it just seems to be too big. If I was using a Surface Pro, it'd be fucking a doddle. But look, so obviously I've got a notepad in the middle, but there's one laptop which is like fine on its own. Here's one laptop which is like fine on its own, but if you put them both together, they're pretty fucking chunky and pretty heavy. So I'm trying to decide what to do. Because I'm trying to hit the week running, I'm trying to dive into my own project, but if I'm not, I should be getting to the point where I can do it at lunch. And I make myself do it at lunch, because an hour is too long to have lunch and waste that time, if you know what I mean. But it's difficult. It's very difficult because, like I say, what I should be doing is working lunch on my own project. But I haven't been doing that recently because I've kind of been in a bit of a lull as I'm between projects. But I've got a load of stuff I want to set up on Atlas, so if I can leave it, do half the work on Atlas, then I don't have to connect my laptop to the internet. That means I don't have to keep syncing things over the internet every time that I want to transfer to work and all that kind of crap. It means I can use Atlas more at home. Way the Bay is at work. She's at a work do for some new starters, and I am cooking myself a dinner because it's likely I'm going shopping on my own at this rate. Because Laura's, well, I don't know. Well, unless she wants to go before having dinner, which seems crazy to me. Called it. She only just got back, so she would absolutely be starving. There's nothing worse than going shopping when you're hungry, because you just pick up a load of shit. This might be the most annoying thing I've ever experienced. I just want to tick that. Go away. I know. Just stop loading. Why are you even loading me? When I'm on my own, Laura always runs the risk of me buying stuff like that, which is just fucking lovely, but she hates it. I've got to go through the pain of looking at that and going, is that everything? Doesn't look like much. It wasn't enough. I forgot the mince for chilli and the entirety of the stir fry.
Anything else?
I can't remember anything else, can I?
Bread? Did you buy the
I did buy bread. Yep. Everything else is fine. I'm set.
Nut? Oh yeah, of course you have.
Definitely got a crunchy nut. Hey Graham, how you doing, girl? You're looking beautiful as ever. I didn't do too great a job with the shopping. I'm not very good. It's the list that I'm not very good at. It did not cross my mind that we need a mince meat for chili, which is a bit weird. And like I thought about stir fry, I just thought, oh, we've got sausages, we'll have sausage stir fry instead of chicken, and then forgot everything else that was required for it. By everything else, I mean like vegetables. Otherwise, I have just been setting up stuff. I've been setting up new repositories for my microservices and setting things up in VSTS. It's going to be a bit of a slog to get things set up, whether or not I kind of like attack one service at a time, or whether I go to, or whether I like kind of like build up the services all at once. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to work on the current service, the one that I'm on at the moment, which is the what is it? The source code service, which took me a while to name. I've called it Code Store. I'm going to work on doing that one at the moment because it's going to be the first time that I've been doing a reliable, a stateful service fabric instance. I'm going to be trying to use the stateful model rather than using a stateless model and then relying on something like a Mongo database. I'm going to try and use all the built-in APIs so that Service Fabric can replicate it across the server and it'll be all fucking pretty. But yeah, I think what I'm going to do as a plan in general is I'm going to try and build up this repository. I've pulled down the code onto my laptop if I need to do it. I had to install a load of SDKs and stuff. I'm going to get this repository sorted before I move on. And I'm going to, while at work, I think I'm going to try and keep building up the old one, which I've now moved to a separate place. It's called like console, where that is basically like a console runner, and anything that I do there isn't necessarily lost because it can be basically brought over verbatim, like literally copy and pasted over, or copy the files in, change the namespaces, job done. There'll be obviously little bits where things change as I'm bringing in more features, like for example the source area. Running it as a console app is completely different to running it in the cloud, but 9 times out of 10 the source file is literally like one of the only ones I think where that isn't the case. Although I may need to do a users one because it's going to be stored as a by user basis, isn't it? But yeah, so it's going to be intense. There is literally not enough time in the day. Hopefully I won't be the only person in the office today. So do you like my spotty shirt? What I really like about this shirt is the fact that from a distance, and probably for you, it doesn't look spotty. But look at that, look, it's just got little fine spots on. Much as it may not be obvious because I wear odd shoes, I actually really like subtlety. Hopefully I shouldn't be the only one in today. I think the tester's back in, and I think senior guy is in after working from home yesterday. We'll see if Dibs is in because he was off ill yesterday, so hopefully I'm not alone, thank God. My main plan for today is to finish off this mapping and calling thing that we're doing to the old world system, and I am on my own time trying to figure out the API to integrate with my code store service, because like you have to communicate with it. It'll try and like verify that it can access what it needs to access, and then it will do it all in the background without telling you. What I'm trying to figure out is how to manage different branches in Git, because it'll be very easy for me to keep track of changes and whatnot when I'm not in Git, when like you stay on one branch. But do I want to store information about every single branch that comes in? It seems like a bit of a waste. Do I give the ability to delete branches? Do I auto-delete? All that kind of stuff. But yeah, so, but do I spend time on this or do I spend time on the legacy one when I'm on my laptop? Who knows? Basically it was just me again today, and I was a little bit more blocked than I was yesterday, so it was quite frustrating. And I think what I need a productive lunch. What do you guys do on your lunch break? Yes, I mean proactive rather than productive, because I spend like the first 20 minutes or so eating my sandwiches, and then the rest of the 40 minutes I'm either like, I need to like do something as a break, because I just kind of burn out. I used to be fine working on my own projects. I used to really enjoy my own projects more than I did my work. But now my work is equally as good and they're both equally as hard. It's more of a slog. I previously had a really easy job, did the really easy job, and then did my own project as a challenge for fun at lunch. But now it's like a consistent challenge. I feel like it's burning me out, you know? So I need to like play a game or something. I'm going to stop taking my laptop in to work during the day, because I feel like that like half an hour, I'm kind of lying to myself because I'm not really getting half an hour of programming in that session. I'm essentially getting like 5 minutes maybe of productive programming, just because of like lack of motivation or like just kind of half-hearted programming, all that kind of stuff. And I feel like I could spend that half an hour, if I don't have my laptop, I could potentially spend that half an hour in a better way by doing something a little bit more breaky and actually like kind of stopping myself burning out halfway through the day. Otherwise, it's nearly 12:30 and I'm heading to bed again. I've been working late because while we got back and whatnot on time, we had to go and pick up the disastrous shopping that I missed off the list. So we headed on out, we just walked up the road, picked up the stuff we needed and came back and had dinner, so we didn't eat until like 8ish. 8:30 by the time we'd finished everything else. No, about 8:30 by the time we'd finished everything. House of Cards, Laura went to bed early, I sat up programming, I was also sorting out my video. So that's going up tomorrow. As I noticed that I'm at an impasse where I want to start this new phase of my project, but I've got like so much stuff to consider, so much stuff is like going on at the same time, and I don't really know where to start, because as soon as I start to look at somewhere I'm like, oh, that means I've got to focus on this thing over here, and I've kind of like boiled it all back. I've drawn basically a storyboard for the website, and I'm going to start building that, and I'm going to start pushing through with some of the more underpinning stuff like the security and like the login and registration pages. And as soon as I have a user, I'll be able to use users to link up with the source, and then we'll be able to drive in from there. But I feel like trying to jump in at the source level is going to cause me issues when I start to then try and link users to that and all that garb. I'm essentially going to be trying to rapidly push out this part of the program. It's relatively... well, it's obviously not because it's security stuff. It's going to be quite complicated, it's going to take me a while, but I'm going to try and push it out as quickly as I possibly can do. I've seen this done before, it's relatively boilerplate-ish, using stuff like Identity Server and the Lark. But yeah, basically, while I'm making the website, it's literally going to look like shit. It's literally just going to be plain HTML, no CSS, no nothing, just to drive data through, because redesigning the web is not my issue at the moment. I can make it look pretty later. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been planning. I've got it all planned out. I've changed the way the iterations and stuff are working in Visual Studio, so I now have 2 separate streams for the console application and the cloud application, and I just need to flesh out some user stories, but I think I can do that on the bus, and that's what my plan's going to be there. I'm picking a very wet day to do this, but I'm going to be leaving the laptop at home today, and I'm just going to take my work laptop here. I swear, oh, it's just stopped. There was an alarm going off just then. I'm like, I swear that alarm was going off yesterday, and when I came home yesterday as well. No, it's still going off. What is that? It's a very miserable day today. It's good because it means my car's going to get cleaned. We haven't had a good rain day for a long time either, so it's pretty nice. But it's the day that I've decided not to bring my laptop because I would like head out for a walk or do something a little bit more interesting at lunchtime rather than sit and do work. However, see, you can hear that alarm, right? It was definitely going off yesterday, both in the morning and in the afternoon. But that's by the by. Today I will be working on, well, I don't know what I'll be working on. Hopefully some people are back in, but I do know that at lunchtime I'm going to be trying to prep for an interview because I'll be interviewing a new UI guy, which, if you know anything about me, is daunting because I don't know shit about UIs. I'm standing in for someone else who can't be in, so that's what I'm going to be doing today, which is going to be exciting. So if push comes to the shove, I can log into my Visual Studio Online and start creating tasks and stuff. I was just on the bus, I've created tasks for my first user story, but the next user story is like significantly bigger. So I've always got things I can do if I do get bored. I've got my Kindle as well. I'm going to try and get back into reading. Actually spent lunch going through some basic UI stuff and looking at CVs and whatnot. The interview actually went quite well. I thought it was quite good. I feel like I'd be a good interviewer, but there's one thing I need to rein in, is I basically answer the question for them, and then they just kind of go, I kind of give away what I want as the answer, you know what I mean? So I kind of ask a question, and then as I try and explain what I meant by asking the question, I kind of say what the answer is, you know, does that make sense? As I kind of ask, so how do you work as in a team, like are you like this, or are you like this? And then that extra little bit is just not good enough. But I feel like without doing that, my questions are too mean. Yeah, that was really good fun. I do quite like it, interviewing. It's good stuff, but I think maybe I'm still in the mindset that I'm being interviewed as well. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I feel like because my manager's there, I kind of feel like I'm being judged as well, a little bit. Who knows? So I'm kind of like justifying my questions to him as well as asking them. I mean, in a sense, I'd be better at one-on-one interviews, but then I don't think I'd trust myself enough to be able to say, yep, that's a goer, or not. But yeah, otherwise today we was having a deep dive into Swagger stuff because we need to support Java and we want to use decimals for money, and Java doesn't have decimals, so Swagger doesn't support decimals unless you specifically use a very specific C# enabled auto rest thing. We kind of like have to do this weird thing with doubles when you get to the presentation layer, but we'll see how that goes. It might cause too many problems. We end up going back to decimals and just being like, well, fuck you, Java, figure it out yourselves. And yeah, otherwise I've been doing mapping stuff, cleaning up mapping in the presentation layer because it's a bit messy. So Google Home has started to support multiple users in the UK now. If you didn't know that, ladies and gentlemen, get on it. I found out this morning. It just occurred to me that I can ask it to play podcasts for me. You still can't hook up separate services unless they've got a deal. So like the only music services you can use are Google Play and Spotify. Never mind, got Spotify. But I can ask it to play podcasts. I can say things like, hey Google, play the Vergecast. And it will start playing.
By for net neutrality and Bixby first.
There you go. And it will start playing the latest.
Flagship
Hey Google, stop. Podcast. Right? I don't know where that is pulling that from. I don't know what app that's pulling it out of. So how do I sync that? I've tried to use Google Play Music on my phone, but it looks like I need to subscribe to Google Play Music, which costs money, to use podcasts, which are free. And I've got an app. I've got an app at the moment that does podcasts that I paid for. It's very good. Pocket Casts. It's brilliant. But I would move if it meant that I could sync it up so that as I... It would be really good if I could walk through the door and say, hey Google, continue playing, or something like that, and don't you fucking dare. I'd probably swap podcasting app if I could do that, but I have Spotify, so I don't need to pay for Google Play Music. See my predicament? Right, so the bay's gone off to go a netball, and I've been trying to set up my projects, and I've been like, why is my project not... It just won't set up right. And the mistake I made was I added things to the repository before I created the solution. So I added the README and shit like that. No. Just create a fucking empty one. Because of course you are. That's obviously what you're supposed to do. Get through Visual Studio. Because like it's this weird thing where Visual Studio was thinking that the project was outside of the solution area. And it's like, the project is inside the solution, but the solution is inside the solution. I've got the solution here, and the solution's supposed to be in there, but I'm all the way over here, and it's like, what's going on, man? And I'm like, this is wrong. I've just Googled it. It turns out I'm a dick. Holy shit, I've got it. Finally got it. Jesus Christ. It took so long. It literally took so goddamn long. Just to set up a project. Why is it so difficult to create a project? I don't know. But you try and create a solution, and then it creates a new folder for the solution. Even though I'm in the Git repository at the moment. I want it in this solution, thank you. No siree, Jamie. Don't give a fuck if you click this box or not that says whether you wanted to create the folder or not. I'm going to create the folder anyway. And you create the projects and they're not in the test folder, even though you've made them in the test folder and you've put them in the source folder, and oh my god. But I've got it now. I'm alive. Okay. Productive afternoon, evening session. We have the project. I'm going to stop my time. Finally set up the solution, finally set up the project. I have it deployed, and well, I've got the build running, so I've got an automated build running on the build server as well. I have it running in Service Fabric on my local machine. It's a local version, but this is exactly as it would appear in Azure. And if I go to the endpoint, hello world, motherfucker. Currently creating the public web page, and then I'm going to create a secure portal, which you need to be authenticated to go through, and all that kind of good stuff. The public one is what you can see. The portal is what you can use to basically manage all of your shizness. It doesn't have to be pretty. There isn't any controllers or anything though at the moment, so I just need to add a couple of controls in and make sure you actually go to like a home page or a landing page. But we're making progress. It feels weird for it to be a Thursday, and like yesterday we didn't have we had dressed down because of a charity thing. We were going to the horses apparently. As a company, a lot of people going to the horses, so everyone was allowed to dress down. But like, it's weird then going back to a shirt and trousers, because it's like, why, if we can have that one random day off in a Wednesday, and if we can have Fridays off, why can't we have every day? Having said that, it took me fucking ages to get these shirts, so gotta get my money's worth. I'm for a bit of a wander at lunchtime, and one of the good things, interesting things about Bath, is it's so small you can basically leave it and come back in again in half an hour. So I'm actually walking really fucking far away from work. I'm basically leaving Bath and then gonna go have my lunch and then I'm gonna go back. City centre is like so condensed that it feels really, really small. So you get bored walking around it, but because it's so small you can get really far away and you can have more choice. Is that a good thing? I don't know. Does it even make sense? A good question. Yeah, I've never been to this park before because it's like miles away. But it's not miles away because of how small Bath is. This doesn't make any sense, I'm aware. Walk out, have a nice lunch in a nice little park thing, and then head off back. It's kind of nice, as long as it's not too hot or raining. It's very weather dependent. I do try, or I am trying, not to get into the habit of like going out shopping at lunch. Like, I've been invited to go to a lunch tomorrow and go out for like a meal, and I'm like, that's all very well and good, but I don't really want to get into the habit of doing it because dollar bills, yo. I'm saving up. I want to buy computers and longboards and houses and shit. And god damn, it's a really weird park though. It seems like you can only get up it with this weird. Said that, what I do like about this place is how many like small independent places there are. Like small independent like cafes and the lot. The issue with that being that they're all really fucking expensive. Therefore I haven't been to them because they're way more expensive than the more commercial versions. And then I kind of like admire them from a distance, but never go. I'm trying to figure out if I like AutoMapper or not. It's a thing we use to map two objects together automatically. It gives me a really like nasty taste in my mouth. As soon as you have to start mapping like significant, I seem to spend all my time mapping things that are too complicated for AutoMapper to do it easily, and then I'm expecting, like, AutoMapper at its best is good, but at its worse than what it replaces. So like the amount of times that you're able to have like the good bit is so few and far between. We're staying very late at work today, so before dinner I'm going to get a little bit of work done. I'm going to try and get this dummy homepage finished and make sure I've got my, basically get the project set up properly with like style cop and all that good stuff. So yeah, it's weird now because most of the things are, I can do it on my laptop, but it's not on there yet, so I'm kind of like in my office. I'm trying to figure out whether I can get this kind of like work at the computer mentality rather than half work on my laptop, if you know what I mean. Okay, so we have all the initial stuff set up. It took me less time than I thought it would do. I thought it would take me about 5 hours to get like Surface Fabric and my controllers and MVC listening, but it was actually quite easy. The main thing that pissed me off was setting up the services yesterday, the solution, sorry. Laura is en route back, so I will wait to do a little bit more work after dinner and whatnot, as I actually try and make that homepage look like what it's supposed to do. And yeah, add in all the little things that I need to do and whatnot. It's good fun. Now I've got that service, I think I then need to go off and make the security service. I'm starting early with security stuff, then allowing like the ability to log in basically. Oh, speak of the devil. Oh, it's bedtime, but I've got the basic MVC framework all set up now, so it's not just like a dummy response. So it's all going through nicely. I just need to, this story will be done as soon as logging is in through App Insights. One of them things when you make an MVC in Visual Studio, do you click Create MVC? I'll have a web MVC one please, and also throw in all of your shitty automatically generated Bootstrap and garbage. It's like, it fills it with controllers and Bootstrap and a home page and all this crap, and then you have to go through and gut it all, and then inevitably you end up deleting something that you weren't supposed to delete, and it's a pain in the arse. Or do you go back to the bare, absolute bare minimum and then build it from the ground up? I chose that one. So yeah, it's gone for a really basic, like it literally just says like I've got my start and footer and whatnot, header and footer, error pages, and the home page. And yeah, I need to add in some application insight stuff, and then I can move on to doing the login page and shizness. Like I say, I'm not going to be investing a lot of time or effort into making it look pretty. I might do some minor formatting stuff just to make it usable, but essentially it's literally just white on black text. There's no CSS styling at all. Front end is something that I can focus on at a later date. It's not the important part of this project yet. So that's that. I think I'm also going to end the video there, ladies and gentlemen. That's about right? Really difficult to see how long videos are. But yeah, so it's going well on the new project. We're jumping in. We're getting lots of work done every day as well, which is really good. We've more or less averaged 2 hours a day this week so far, which is good stuff. And that's despite not having lunchtime to bolster the hourage as well. You can see why it's slow work though. I only get 2 hours a day. You can see why it's such like slow progress. That's what kills me. I need to locate time and generate it. I wonder if waking up early is a shout. I don't think so though. It's going to be the weekend soon. Tomorrow, Friday, basically already is the weekend. So come back and find out then. I assume this video won't go up till Saturday. That's because I'm busy Friday. Doing what, Jamie? Come back, find out soon. I'll catch you later.